it's approaching the supreme moment. Reality striking closer than it seems, don't it? Go ahead, it's for the taking if you want it. If not, the dream dies and you'll be forever haunted. Then confront it.
Somebody call the damn exterminator. We got bugs everywhere up in this motherfucker. What's good, y'all? So I've been busy with work, but for those that follow me on Twitter, I've actually made some comments about all the stuff happening with the issue with the recent update. But just wanted to make a video covering all the different areas that are in question right now, but also talk about the new features and whatnot also. So before we begin, I do want to start off by saying, yes, things are a little bit messed up. Everything's glitchy. There's a bunch of bugs right now, but they're eventually going to fix it. So I think we all just need to, cool down a little bit, take a step back, and just let things, handle themselves. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much my take on it. And I don't really know the situation with the compensation. I really have no idea if they'll end up compensating with Dragonstones or whatever. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. But again, the point of this video is to just cover some of the stuff that's happening right now, and then we'll go from there. Before I begin, though, I will say that those two girls, man, they're always causing issues. Like last time we had something like this, as major as it was the Kefla banner, and then they had the infamous 300 stone compensation. So I don't really want to bring that up, but it's just kind of funny how the units in question are in relation, I guess, in a way. Okay, so with all that said, let's go ahead and get started with some of the issues going on. And looks like there are 4 bullet points listed on here, and they do have like updated information. They added a section 4 earlier today, and we'll talk about that. But number 1, right here, it's basically talking about the stuff that came up the other day in the notifications or the in-game news is, the units that have the ability for additional super attacks and, the attack stats and damage output is definitely a lot higher at this point in time. That's just basically what they're saying. Now, the ones that are affected mainly are units that increase ki based on their passive. The more they collect ki, the higher boost they get in ki, or units like Strength Gogeta is a good example of that. The ones that get, ki boost or attack boost based on Rainbow Ki Collective, stuff like that. Those are definitely the ones affected. There are also various other units that are also affected. I'm not going to go into detail, but the point being, there's definitely much greater attack stats and output itself because of that. Number 2 is basically pretty much a display error. So I don't know, for those that have been playing around, I'm sure you've noticed by now, but based on the attack stats that are listed, it's actually much higher than what they actually are. So I don't know if you've tested, like I said, but for example, like Gogeta's attack stats went up to like 3.6, 3.7 million, whereas in the past, before the update, it was maybe like 2.7 million or something like that. And the final damage output wasn't anything close to what it was suggested in the attack stats. So right here is basically saying that there is a display error happening with the attack stats. Now, it doesn't have any effect on the final damage output itself. But again, bullet number 1 suggests otherwise because, for example, people were going crazy with the punch machine because the attack stats and damage output itself was ridiculous. So, people were able to take advantage of that, but I'm pretty sure they patched that up by now. Number 3 is basically for Extreme Z battles. It actually forces a shutdown in some cases, so that is bullet number 3. Number 4 is also a specific types of units that are affected as well. This is the Great Apes, Giants, and also the Rage units. They're actually affected by this. What happens is basically they receive damage even though they're already in a transformed state in the back end, so to speak. So like even if you don't necessarily get KO'd, you're still receiving damage. So like the examples they bring here is, once you actually finish the battle, it takes you back to the map, or the HP drops to 0, and basically if you don't recover after, before basically finishing the battle, it's pretty much going to give you a game over screen. So stuff like that is happening right now. Again, a lot of glitches happening as well. On here it's saying 124, basically talking about they're currently working on the fixes for the bugs right now for 1, 2, and 4. So number 3, they didn't really mention what what's happening for that one right now. So actually, they do say right here they're actually investigating bullet number 3, which is the forced shutdowns for the EZA battles. So that's pretty much the extent of it. So let's go ahead and move on to actual good news, right? Starting off with Boss Rush 8 coming. So it is confirmed on here, a new stage is coming up. There is going to be a maintenance where the event will not be available from April 25th midnight to April 26th at 5 p.m. This is again JP time, so check your time zone differences for that information. Alright, so now let's talk about the new stuff that is added in. We'll start off with the Scouter updates. So right here, pretty much you can pick the units and actually go to the final product and see the details, what the final product actually looks like. So this is actually pretty useful stuff. Not really the most important thing, but it is a nice feature to have. The thing I'm happy about here is the updates they did here. So if you scroll down, you are going to see a section for skill effects and link skills. So if you click on the skills, the top 4 section, that is your passive. This is your leader skill, super attack, and active skill. By the way, I'll be posting something on Twitter with pretty much these guys translated, and it'll be replaced with the English text. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, definitely check that out because I will do that at some point. So all these are basically status effects and whatnot skill sets. So this, this is pretty much attack increase, defense increase, HP, key increase, attack decrease, defense decrease, and so on. Again, I'm not going to go through all this. I'll just go ahead and translate it and provide like a picture file. That way you guys can refer to it that way. So again, it's nice. It's a nice feature for sure. So we'll go ahead and cut that out. This is the link skill. This is actually something I'm very happy about. You could actually look it up. However, you're going to have to type it up in Japanese. So the one I'm going to look up is experienced fighters. And right here, you can actually sort everything through just the experienced fighter link skill. And you'll see all the units that have the link skill for the experienced fighters. So those are definitely pretty nice features. I think it's going to make things easier when you do have to figure out teams for certain builds in terms of links. For example, like Vegeta Blue grinding. Although this stuff is all in Japanese, it's actually going to make things a little bit easier. As long as you recognize the kanji letters, what to look for, I think it'll make things a little bit smoother in terms of team building itself. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the updates and the discussion on the glitches. So again, just wanted to cover a video and talk about it. Pretty much, I haven't had time up until now to do it, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what your thoughts are actually, and let's get a conversation going. Okay? All right, I'll check you guys later.